10th of August 2023. In this news flash I'm going to talk about the grain deal and something about the navies and the fleets of Russia, China and America, and then about Uganda. But let's start off with Anthony Blinken. Brazil is crucial to convince Russia to return to the grain deal. The US Secretary of State Anthony Blinken believes that Brazil can influence Russia so that the Kremlin returns to the Black Sea grain deal. The voice of Brazil, the voice of President Lula, is crucial, and using that voice to convince the Russians to come back to the deal would be very, very positive. Now let's just recap that deal. Part of that deal was the sanctions against the Russian agricultural banks will be lifted so that they can continue with trading with their trading partners. That is part of the deal. Another part of the deal was that the grain and fertilizers that the European Union has basically impounded or stolen or what on the Russian ships, that must be released, and Russia would allow free travel of the grain ships to Odessa. And what happened? The grain route opened and the West started smuggling weapons into Ukraine on those ships. Secondly, they used the routes of that shipping route. They used that to get closer to Crimea, to attack the Crimean bridge and peninsula. Thirdly, less than 5% of the grain actually went to poor nations. The rest went to the EU and other middle income nations. So that was also a lie. But here comes the kicker. The West didn't lift the sanctions that they promised that they will lift in exchange for the grain route to open. And now we get Blinken, and he says now Brazil can move the Kremlin. Now my question to him is just this. So you guys break all the agreements on your side, but you want to push Russia to keep to their side of the agreement. Now if that's not arrogance, I don't know what arrogance is, but unfortunately for Blinken, Putin said what he wanted to say, the agreement expired, he agreed to renew it, and the West still did not deliver on their side. So now, Blinken is trying to get Brazil to push the Kremlin, because it works like this. America tells you what to do, and there is an agreement that they will do some stuff. They never do their part of it, and if you don't do your part of it, they bomb you. That's how they operate. But those days are over. They just haven't realized it yet. Their days of terrorizing the globe is over. And then we get to this one. Washington believes it has the divine rights to send its warships wherever it wants, but when the rivals do the same, it is deemed a threat. And just another point. They can do what they like. They send their fleet wherever they like. They go as they like. But if any other country does the same thing, that country is all of a sudden a threat. The hypocrisy has got no limits. And then we get to Uganda. Worldbank pulls Uganda funding over anti-LGBT law. The Worldbank has announced its decision to withhold potential future loans to Uganda following the country's passage of the Anti-Homosexuality Act earlier this year, which has faced criticism from rights organizations and foreign officials. In response to the enactment of the law, the World Bank dispatched a team to Uganda, concluding that additional measures are required to ensure proper project alignment with the bank's environmental and social criteria. Now that bank just simply says, fuck you, Uganda. We don't care about your morality. We don't care about your culture. You do as we say or we don't give you money. And that is how it works. They want to export their morally corrupt fucking, as they call it, social criteria to the rest of the world. And if you dare to resist, then you have a problem. But, as I said earlier, those days are coming to an end. Please give me a like and a subscribe and share the thing. Thank you for your support.